Hello and welcome everyone to Thunder Insider presented by Integris Health here on Fox Sports Oklahoma and WWLS, the Sports Animal. It's great to have you with us as we kick off a season. I'm Kelly Crull alongside both of my broadcast partners, Brian Davis, Grant Long. We've got a great show in store for you guys. Matt Pinto, Chris Silva, Mike Steely, all of them will be along later as we get ready for another exciting season of Thunder basketball. And guys, it's about that time. It's almost here. Tell me what intrigues you most about this season.
This may be a little bit random, Kelly, but so far, my favorite part of the preseason, Tuesday night in Denver, you got Durant sitting, you got Westbrook sitting, you got some guys hurt, so Scott Brooks is literally cobbling together this motley crew, a 9-man rotation. But they competed all night long against the Denver Nuggets starters. And I thought, Grant, in that moment, this proves the philosophy. The system is alive. There is such a thing as Thunder basketball.
Well, I'm interested to see how this team responds to a 50-win season. A great season last year. They have a bullseye on their back, so to speak. They're going to be everybody's big game this season. So I'm interested to see how these guys respond.
And of course, with each new season, there is always a great deal of hard work and preparation that goes into getting the season underway. One of those annual rites of passage is the beast known as Media Day. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at what is always one chaotic afternoon.
Come on, Kevin, do that again. You won't do it again.
The picture station looks like the most entertaining to me.
Yeah, when you get combined with different guys, we try to have fun with it.
It's a lot of fun. When the guys are having fun, I have fun. If the guys aren't having fun, I'm not having fun.
So we got the earpiece going on today, everything. This is a big time deal today, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, it's important. We have all the players here. We want to make sure we take advantage of the time we have with them. So yes, it is important.
And you're really moving them in and out here very quickly, lots of them.
Oh yeah, it's like a big puzzle for us, but we're getting it done for sure.
That's a great picture. CJ's great. It's fun. We're walking all around.
It's fun. You know, we just out here having a good time. Last really fun day, so to speak, before we get it started out tomorrow. So just want to let loose and enjoy our day.
They managed to find some fun in between all the work, all the stations.
It's the first day of school. You know, it's like everybody can relate to that first day when you get back in school and you see all your friends after summer vacation. That's essentially what today is. So it's great for these guys. It's great they enjoy doing it because it's a long day, and if you don't have fun, it's even longer.
Lots of work, but of course everyone trying to have a good time, as you can see there. And you may have noticed while watching that piece a couple new faces. This year's roster presents 4 new Thunder players, all of which will add depth and improve the Thunder organization in different areas. These new pieces will strengthen the structure of an already strong team commitment.
Green with a nasty block. Durant. Collison with the block.
Shot blocking is a part of the Thunder's defensive culture and a category the team led the league in last season. Now the Thunder has added some extra power in the paint with the addition of Cole Aldrich, the 6'11" rookie out of Kansas.
Oh, there's Aldrich with the block.
I really feel that, you know, my best qualities as a basketball player are, you know, shot blocking, rebounding, and I can run the floor really well. You know, Coach Brooks is really a heavily defensive-minded coach. That really plays into my game a lot because I love rebounding, blocking shots, and really just defending.
Offensively, the addition of Daquan Cook will add to the perimeter game. Cook is entering his 3rd year in the league after spending his first 2 seasons with Miami.
Cook from the corner, 4-3.
You know, I'm already considered, a 3-point shooter in this game. You know, I got to expand my game now. Doing the things I'm used to doing, getting to the basket, me being a great free throw shooter, trying to get to the line, get some free, easy buckets.
The Thunder also adds a pair of veteran leaders to their roster. Royal Ivy is entering his 6th season and is no stranger to Thunder assistant Mo Cheeks, who Ivy played 1 season for while in Philadelphia. And Morris Peterson, a 10-year vet with 488 starts under his belt, including 5 trips to the postseason. It's Mo Pete's experience he hopes to share with his young teammates who are coming off a season of great growth.
You know, you have to concentrate more and do the little things, and that's what I want. That's what I want this team to understand is that last year, whatever happened last year happened last year. But I think that if we want to really build a championship team, we can't get fat and sassy and complacent. We have to go out there every night and compete.
Fat and sassy, you gotta love that. But obviously, a number of different guys, different skill sets for Coach Brooks to utilize this season. And, you know, I think we've all seen firsthand already the impact that Cole Aldrich can make on a game.
Well, I love that. The Thunder actually addressed an issue over the offseason, getting more size. And being a former front court player myself, I understand that the forward position and the center position, you're going to commit a lot of fouls because you're defending the low post. You're also protecting the paint on deep guard penetration. So you have another body in Cole Aldrich who's going to protect the paint and use up those fouls that you have to have. Not to mention his big size, big body is going to open up some offensive opportunities.
And when you watch him too, guys, on the pick and roll, one of the things that really stands out is that he goes so hard to the basket, he literally sucks opposing defenders into the play, which in turn leaves the shooters on the perimeter wider open for shots. Good looks, Daquan Cook, Royal Ivy, and also Mo Peterson, just to name the three new guys that can shoot the ball a little bit.
Absolutely, and the best part to me about that is that's what Cole wants to do. He's already told you, that's what I love doing. So anyway, well, the NBA season, of course, not all about time off. It's time for improvement, and that expectation doesn't stop with just the players. It also includes the reigning NBA Coach of the Year. Matt Pinto goes one-on-one with Scott Brooks and looks at how the head coach is setting the tone for the team as they prepare for a brand new season. We'll see you back here.
I had a long to-do list, from working on my body to getting better offensively, getting better quicker.
Oh man, mine was long. Mine was like 6 pages. The number one thing was to work on my all-around game, dribbling, shooting.
I lost like 8 pounds. That was my goal, to lose a little bit weight.
Ball handling, coming off a lot of pick and rolls. That's 90% of the NBA.
I've worked a lot on my shooting, especially from the corner threes.
You get more physical. More defensive-minded.
In my post-up game, I'm learning how to be patient, where I need to score, where my shots are going to come from.
Well, you heard their guys talk about their long lists. Obviously, the term off-season, a bit misleading as they're constantly working on getting better. James Harden, you heard him say the pick and roll, something he wanted to get a lot better at. And just talk about that. Is that really crucial for them to feel more fluid in the game?
Well, take James Harden in particular. He's a guy that has a reputation throughout the league of being able to shoot the long ball. So now the defense is going to really corral him with the ball on the perimeter. So it'll come into play for James where he'll have to call somebody over, probably Cole Aldrich, to set that screen for him to get free for that jump shot. Also, his going to his left hand, he's very good penetrating off the screen and roll and setting up his teammates.
It's all about building blocks too, and you heard Jeff Green when he left town last spring. He said, I want to learn how to be more aggressive. Well, what has he been, Grant, most of this preseason? More aggressive, recognizing mismatches, Kelly taking it right straight at guys and exploiting those mismatches.
And point being, the work never ends, right? Never ends. And Matt Pinto actually caught up with the coach, who the work never ends for Coach Brooks either, always working to get better as a coach. We'll hear from him now.
Coach, the players have the mandate every offseason to specifically work on things to come back improved. Do you take that approach at all into the offseason yourself? And where specifically do you feel like maybe you gained some experiences that might prove to have you at an upper level this season?
Well, I think it's important that our players go home or in the off season and get better, and also the coaches. I talk to our coaches and myself. We go out and meet other coaches in the summer, whether it's in the summer league, meet other coaches that are in the NBA, or do you go to colleges or junior college, or even my high school coach I've met with. We just figured out ways to get better. I'm working on practice drills, late game situations, just better plays offensively, better schemes defensively. I think it's important that everybody in our team, including coaches, get better.
A season ago, there was dramatic improvement. You gained a playoff spot. You won 50 games. How do you ensure, to the best of your ability, that the climb and the progress continues this season?
Well, you have to respect the game. You have to respect your opponent. In this league, it's a tough league. It's tough to get wins. If you don't have a serious approach of being a good teammate, being a complete player in toughness on and off the court, just being a good person. And that's how we approached this season going into it, is figure out ways to get better and then bring it all together.
You have added depth on the roster now, given some of the offseason moves that have been made. Has it been challenging for you as you've gone through training camp in the preseason to gain a sense of what pairings might work and how you might go about crafting a rotation entering the regular season?
Well, we're using the preseason for that. It's an opportunity for us to mix and match the lineups and give guys different opportunities and different roles. And they've come back better players, and we just have to figure out how we can make it a better team. And we're working on that. There's not a finished product, and we're not where we need to be in the exhibition season, but we're still working and we're still getting better.
You know, every time I hear Scott Brooks talk, I think about his message to the team, which is every year is different. Some years you're healthy, some years you've got injuries. Teams rise and fall around you. But Grant, I know in 14 years in the NBA, you learned the wisdom. It's a very simple philosophy. Control what you can control.
And I think that's what is so great about this team. There's a philosophy in place that the players can wrap their arms around. And no matter who's in the lineup, if you're hurt, and which every team's going to deal with, if the philosophy's in place, you can interject those different players in there and continue to run your philosophy. And I think that's what Scott Brooks, along with Sam Presti, have on the table with this young ball club.
There's no question. Pushing the philosophy every day, day in and day out. They clearly put in the hard work every day. And it's not just on the hardwood. They also put in the time and commitment within the community. And that's helping and making a difference all around the state of Oklahoma. Ahead, Thunder Insider takes you into the community with Thunder basketball. Welcome back, everyone. The wait is finally over. The regular season is here, and the Thunder will tip off the 2010-2011 season at home against Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. Then it's off to Detroit with their sole trip of the season to the Motor City before heading back to OKC for their first divisional matchup with Deron Williams and the Utah Jazz on Halloween night. Well, it's time now to go on the beat. Joining us, Chris Silva with Thunder.nba.com. And Chris, you know, you and I, we've spent a lot of time at practice watching these preseason games. And I think one thing that's definitely stood out to both of us is there's certain voices standing out, one of which, Russell, we both heard. It seems a lot louder this season already.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we talked to Russell in Kansas City actually about he has a better command and knowledge of the playbook. And I think, for example, even after practices towards the end, Scott Brooks will stop a play and he'll actually have Russell walk through every position on the floor, detailing where players should be on certain plays, certain options. So he's definitely put in the time and studying that playbook.
Yeah, you speak of knowing all the other positions on the floor, getting to see time in the film room and everything like that. But you've also heard from the coaches. They've heard the ball bouncing early in the morning, and who do they say it is that's always there? Yeah, it is Russell. And Scott Brooks did say that Russell is one of the team's early birds. For example, even on a recent off day, he was in the practice facility watching game film with Maurice Cheeks and Eric Maynor. But when the coaches are going through their morning meetings, they hear that ball bouncing on the floor, and hey, that's Russell out there. I think another guy that's already beginning to see some of his hard work pay off is Serge Ibaka. I'm sure a number of you fans will notice as we get into the season, the big guy is pulling the trigger a lot more in the midcourt, right, Chris? Yeah, he is. And Scott Brooks said, that's one thing you have to remember. He had that last season, the mid-range jumper, so it's not like this is brand new. He was developing it last year. Scott said he had confidence in him last year, and he's going to continue to have confidence in Serge shooting that mid-range jumper this season. He just wants to have him, make a better shot selection. And Chris, I got to bring up the first edition of Thunder Magazine. It'll be available, right, the opening night of Thunder's season? Yeah, it'll be available opening night at the Oklahoma City Arena. The feature story is on just based off the Rise Together concept. And I went out and spoke to a lot of different civic leaders, businessmen throughout the city, people who are helping the city rise together along with the Thunder. So it's going to be a good story. All right, Chris, we look forward to reading that piece. Thanks a lot. The work that the players put into their game is often revealed when we see them play, but oftentimes we overlook how much the Thunder team does off the court and rather in our community. It would honestly take me the rest of the show to list all those wonderful events and causes, so the Thunder organization took part of course, the summer. Instead, I'm just going to sit back and let you guys watch a few of the highlights. 1, 2, 3! Woo!
We are dedicating the Thunder's very first basketball court refurbishment project. It looks Thunder, it's got new basketball goals, it's got new paint, it's got a new surface.
It helps keep them off the streets. It helps give them something to do other than that, that peer pressure to do bad things.
Positive Tomorrows is a private elementary school. All of our children are homeless children. They live in one of the area homeless shelters, or they're children that have no real home.
I can remember being in a homeless shelter myself. I know when I was younger, I never thought, well, when I'm 21, I want to be in the NBA. Always, my next step was thinking how I'm going to get to the next day. And these kids need to see that, and they need a positive role model in their lives. Here you go.
What's your favorite kind of stereo?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I think it's great because I think this is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get this close up to an NBA star. It's great, and all the coaches at the camp are great, and it's a skills camp. They're not coming here playing around. They learn stuff, and it's a skills camp. I love it.
On your knees.
Oh, gotcha! The city of Oklahoma is great. We have a great fan base who really supports us a lot, and it really shows at these camps. Oh, quick shot!
We're having a crazy, unique fundraising idea for people to rappel down a 30-story building to raise funds for Special Olympics Oklahoma. This is not your regular golf tournament, your 5K run. This is a unique way, kind of that bucket list type thing for people to see and just, hey, I'd like to do that. That's a good cause, and I want to come out and help.
To say that when it comes to those sort of aerobatics, that Rumble had a little bit of business going on, but he had nothing compared to you, Crull. What's up with that? Now, it looked to me, watching you scale those 30 stories, you kind of holding those ropes just a little bit tight.
A little tight, you think? For my life, I think it was. I got up there, and it was one of the most unbelievable experiences. My entire body went numb, first of all. And all I could think was, don't look down, don't look down, don't look down. And then I just flew.
Well, it would have helped if you got the glue off your shoes. I tease, though. I tease. Now, I've done that one time, but only from 4 stories away. And the fact of the matter is, if that had been me, I'd have wound up upside down. So props to you.
Well, at least you didn't get pushed over. You went over on your own.
That's right. But
and all to a good cause.
I didn't want to. That's right. Absolutely. In fact, it went to the Special Olympics, and they raised over $100,000 with this event. And so it was unbelievable. I'm glad when I got to the bottom, I had to hug everyone and say, thank goodness I'm talking to someone who's on the ground. So when Thunder Insider continues, of course, we'll welcome back Mike Steely for a segment we call Stealing the Mic. If you haven't had a laugh today, this piece is sure to change that as Mike spends some time with the Thunder faithful. We'll see you soon.
Insider, baby.
Thanks for staying with us, everyone. This season, you'll find Mike Steely spending time with Thunder fans and telling us some of the unique stories that make the Thunder following, of course, so special. It's a segment we call Stealing the Mic. This week, with a little help from our friends at Brickshaw Buggies, Steely was in Bricktown to give some of the Thunder faithful a lift.
We're Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper when I need him. Little Steppenwolf. Da, 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 da. Hitching on a rendezvous. Head on down the highway. Looking for adventure. You can take the Thunder basketball quiz and everything. It's a really good time.
Next game.
Next game. Turn down again.
I'll be right here. Next game, this time, right here.
That's what she said.
Yeah, this is pretty smooth, too.
Yo, guys, you going to the game? I gotta warn you, it can get a little bumpy on this thing. First question. Let's talk about James Harden. Where did he go and play college basketball?
Pac-10 Player of the Year at Arizona State.
Morris Peterson, recent acquisition. Where did he play college ball?
Michigan State on Tom Izzo's national championship.
This is Thunder Pedicab Confessions here, so anything you want to confess?
Man, I really can't think of anything.
That's because the wife's going to be watching this, right?
I guess we're just boring people.
Thunder NBA quiz. Kevin Durant, where did you go to college?
Texas.
That's the correct, Bill. I gotta be careful. This has turned into a demolition derby. I remember when Fonzie took on the Malachi brothers on Happy Days, and that was ugly. Since you're wearing Russell Westbrook's jersey, what's his favorite candy bar? Candy bar? Yeah. It's the kind of stuff I know. That's why I'm an insider, baby. It's got peanuts in it, but it's not a Snickers.
Payday? There we go.
I think I'm going on the DL. Tendinitis in the knee. Gatorade, vodka, either one. Maybe Gatorade and vodka. Ah, that's it. Take me out, coach. Reliever.
Somebody needs to tell Mike Steely that those things actually have gears. He looked like Roger Rabbit on that thing, and he hits the car. This is what happens. He hits the car because he's up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do that radio show on the Sports Animal. Not a good idea letting him shoot that thing in the evening.
Well, if you see him out there with the rickshaw, don't get in his, take somebody else's. But I was impressed. Obviously, he's rode the bike before because he had his right pant leg rolled up, and that's in order to keep your pants from getting caught in the chain.
Yeah, and the thing I know is that I actually talked to him after this, doing this whole thing. He said he certainly felt his legs the next day. So those guys, you got to give them credit. Those guys you see out there doing that every game.
Well, and the rickshaw is not a bad way to get to the arena on game night. Tickets are available for just about every game at the arena this season.
That's right, and if you need them, just head to thunder.nba.com. Thanks for joining us here at our Oklahoman studio for the first edition of Thunder Insider presented by Integris Health. We look forward to seeing you next time with plenty more Thunder basketball.